Hello traders, welcome to today's video, Friday the 10th of May 2024. This is your Bitcoin cryptocurrency market update, and we're going to start off here as always with the Bitcoin chart on the daily time frame. So as we can see, a decent bounce yesterday, right? So we'd had that we had the big bounce last week. So obviously the start of May happened. We had that capitulation candle that came into our yearly anchored VWAP and also deviation below our range lows here. So spending a day below the range lows before a really strong bounce, which took out some local highs here. Now, what we've wanted to see throughout this week is more or less shallow consolidation. So a retrace, but not going too deep. Like we don't want to see revisiting that back down below that 59 to 60K zone. This went a little bit lower than what I was really comfortable with. So I had been compounding my long position between 62K and 61,600. I had just limit orders $100 apart, a few of them, and they all got filled. We dipped slightly lower yesterday, but as you can see here, it was just a back test of that monthly open. So we had the big move down on the monthly open, immediately reversed. Well, a couple of days later, reversed. And now we're coming back in to test that monthly open. And then you get the bullish engulfing candle, really strong reaction off of that and holding once again around this POC here. What we have in confluence with this area, of course, is that it is our value area low of the entire range. So you can see value area low sat here around about that 61,300 area. Dip slightly below, but no real cause for concern. Yesterday, what we were seeing was just a lot of long positions closing out rather than any serious aggression from the shorts. And we can see that this downtrend, although we are still in a downtrend, we have made high, lower, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high so far. This is the first time that we've really taken some decent internal market structure and are getting some strength after the corrective move. So you can see on these two moves down, all these yes, okay, it was holding around the point of control for some time. It just had that little bit of a move up before a big drop. But on this occasion, we're seeing some strength here with that bullish engulfing candle. If we can continue to hold within this range, then I do think we can see a move up towards that value area high, which is got some nice confluence there with, of course, our previous all-time high. And if we are going to go fibs, then we do have up there will be your 786. So there's some confluence there, and taking out these local highs, starting to change that market structure, flip it from this bearish to bullish. You got the golden pocket and a high volume node around there as well. Going down onto the lower time frames, okay, on the Woo chart, we can see that yesterday, some more confluence here. So there's your test into the monthly open. So that obviously start of, the start of May, you have the big move down, consolidation, bounce, take out local highs. All right, take out those previous week highs, get that move down, correction. Now we didn't want to see this as a deep retrace. I was comfortable when we were holding around here. Yesterday we had a little bit more of a spike down just to stop out those longs. So as I say, it was mainly long positions closing out of the market as we had this move down, but then getting a decent bounce and starting to correct some of this market structure. So downtrend here, clearly change of character on this low time frames. And yeah, for myself, looking at this, forming a range and then see if we can start to break a little bit higher. Now where we're at is at the moment, right, start of the week, this is your weekly anchored VWAP. It has been acting as resistance the whole way so far. So you'd want to see a clean break. We're going to need some volume to break that. We're obviously going to need some volume to break that weekly open as well. And as of yet today, we've not even seen that break of the previous day high. However, there are things that suggest to me that we could see that later on in the day after a little bit more time just spent within this range here. So currently just chilling out around about daily open, around that VWAP, and just holding here. So the bullish argument comes from the order flow, essentially. So what we have seen, if I can just find my tab, a big increase in open interest this morning, and this has mainly been spot led. So if we have a look on Agra, this is what we've almost been waiting for somewhat. So we had like this pink line is your perpetual CVD. So this is the accumulation or the difference between long positions and short positions within the market. A lot of, long positions closing, short positions opening. We got that bullish CVD as the delta came down to these lows, but price did not follow. Spot was holding up well, and then what we have seen so far today is that we've had that move, which has been mainly spot led, whereas the previous moves up we've seen have been mainly perps led, this signaling a little bit of strength returning to the market. And what I would expect from this stage is for perpetuals to play a little bit of catch up, and I would be looking at some continuation of the move that we saw yesterday. What else do we have on the ETFs? Another day where there's just minimal in or outflows. We did have GBTC doing their usual outflows, but nothing too crazy. The rest seeing a lot of inflows here. So of course there was a pretty decent bounce. So we've seen that move like IBIT and a lot of these other ETFs getting some inflows, and then a few of these zeros across the board here. And what we have also seen, we can go and have a look at our funding rates. I don't know if they still are, but certainly overnight funding was negative. And once again, we are like in that neutral to negative funding here. We can see a lot of green, a lot of a fair bit of negative funding on the board there. And I think this chart going back here, yeah, this shows this. So this is your funding rates. And we did have that negative funding overnight before getting this little bit of a squeeze this morning, but nothing too major. This increase in open interest, you would want to see continuation higher. You would want to see the CVD moving higher. What you don't want to see is this aggression from short positions. However, if we are to get a pullback, then we do need to be aware of a couple of things on the chart. So if I turn the TPO on here and we just zoom out a little bit, we do have a couple of, we do have an MPOC below, so we can see this time and volume point of control down here. So this is at 61,500. We do have that time and volume point of control. So if we are to see a move down, that would be in confluence around about that VWAP once again and the previous day open. So if there is to be a move down, that would likely retrace the whole move at this stage, tap back into this MPOC, and then see if there can be another bounce. The move up that we've seen so far came into this point of control, so this POC from Tuesday. And we do have another TPOC, time point of control, lower here on the chart. However, the volume one, which I would consider a little bit more important, especially on Bitcoin, the volume point of control has been tested and has had that reaction. So not really any major imbalance below. We did come into these single prints and we did get the reaction from that, so we don't necessarily have to fill the whole thing. And as I've said previously, if we do come down and fill the whole thing, then that would be more bearish. I do not want to see prices coming down here, because then you're just very likely going to take out the low. So that is, that's everything I want to say on the chart today. So hopefully that gives you some nice information to work from, can inform your trading for the next day. I am leaning towards a bit of a move up if we can get sideways, but if we are to see a pullback, then 61,500 is a big level of interest. If we do get a move up, I would be looking essentially like I would be looking for this larger move towards that 69 coming into the imbalances to fill the gaps that we had previously, value area high of the range and so on. But we are going to need that volume. Until then, little scalp trades, previous day high, weekly open, and coming back up towards these highs that we made a few days ago would seem a little bit more likely. So yeah, have a great day, everybody. Please do the like, subscribe, all of those kind of things, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye bye.